Keep
Walk
that.
out, walk out,
Keep
walk
that.
out.
Keep that. And run that and
This
flip that.
is another nice and neat episode. Let's go.
I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old now, got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road.
I like that brand though. You feel me? The corduroy is kind of crazy. Real fall. Real festive.
I give it all to this fucking mic stand. If it's been done before, then I know I can.
Okay, we gonna finish strong.
I'm trying to keep a level head. She want my time, she begging me to give me
This that shit right here.
You wasn't ready to turn it down?
He wasn't ready.
It's all good.
I
It's
can
all
bring it
good.
back.
Nah. Oh.
all up in the chamber. My homie mother shooting up, I feel like gotta save her. Government babies with no luck, we grew up from the pavement. I'm running around with
I hope y'all feel me.
I
hope y'all feel me.
Get a nickel,
Tap
turn it
in,
down
tap
to a
in,
bag
tap.
like
Y'all heard
All right, let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Yo, what's the deal, y'all? Hope all is well. Welcome back to another episode. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jalon, and this is nice and neat. What's up, fellas? How y'all? You know what? We did this on season
Good
2.
check-in. Good check-in.
We did this on season 2, and I think we're due for this, man. Man, how y'all feeling? Oh, how you feeling, bro? Like, how are you feeling mentally, physically, emotionally? Rate each one of those 1 to 10.
Mentally, I'm feeling okay. I wouldn't say I'm feeling my best, but I'm not feeling my worst. If I had to put a number on it from 1 to 10, mentally, I'd probably say I'm about at a 7 right now. Physically, it was mentally, physically, and emotionally. Physically, unfortunately, just because of sports, I haven't been feeling the best either lately, so I'll probably say I'm about a 6. Emotionally, I'm good. Mostly I'm on 10, you know. Have a great support system at home. My woman is loving me, you know. My family is good. Praise God. So that's the best thing that's going for me emotionally right now, you know. And that's how it is in life. It should be up and down. It goes in waves, you know, and I'm just riding it. And hopefully it comes back up and things will be better, you know. But from an emotional standpoint, I'm great. 10 out of 10. Physically, emotionally, physically and mentally, I could be a little bit better, and I know that. And every day's, you know, a process to progress. So
Yeah, man. Mentally, I think I'm a 10. Yeah, I'm locked in right now mentally. I think I've done the work to just kind of every day separate myself from outside distraction and really lock on to just like my mental health. And just anything that I could do to just kind of clear my mind and make sure like I'm good in that aspect, whether it's journaling, whether it's reading, whether it's getting up in the morning and stretching, whether it's just detaching from social media. So I think I'm good. I'm locked in that from that standpoint. I think physically I've set a new standard for myself, right? So I would say physically I'm like a 6, only because like I really want to take just my physical presence, everything physically to another level, right? So I've had to set another standard for myself. So, you know, normally if I was an 8, you know, the bar's raised, and I'm a 6 now, you know.
Yep.
So I think I have different goals physically as far as how I want to diet, how I want to eat, how I want to recover, right? All these things are, you know, just being athletes, we have that. We've always had that in our plan and in our book, but just another level, you know, being more consistent with how I'm taking care of my body. You know, that's just where I'm at right now. And emotionally, I think I'm good. You know, I think I'm good. I think I am someone I prize myself on being even kill and just neutral and not getting too high or too low. I think I am, you know, in a good relationship where I have the luxury of just speaking about how I feel. I have friends that, like you guys, that I have the luxury of speaking how I feel. If I'm angry or upset with you guys, you know, we're going to talk about it.
Absolutely.
You know, if I'm happy, we're going to talk about it. So the space to have those conversations is there for me, you know. So like I don't really have any concerns emotionally. So, but I guess it could always be better. But I would say emotionally, I'm like a 9.
That's good. How about you, bro?
Mentally, I will say you guys know I have my 31st birthday coming up in a couple of weeks. So just thinking about that, thinking about where I want to be at in life. And I think as a successful black man, you always think about like what's next. And I'll say right now, unfortunately, I'm kind of in that space. So mentally, I will say I'm probably about like a 6. It's a lot I need to do. It's a lot that I need to do, a lot that I'm focused on. I feel like I'm operating a little bit below my standard. So with that being said, I know that I need to step it up. So I'll say a 6. Physically, I've been on a new journey where I'm gaining a little bit of size in my body, and I like what I'm seeing. So I'm just kind of riding that trajectory right now. So I'll probably say I'm probably about at a 8, 9 right now. Physically, I feel good. I feel strong every single day. And that's good. And emotionally, I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. The woman that I'm dating, she's definitely
Helping.
Yeah.
For sure. And speaking of,
But hold on though, just before you say that, I just want to say how, like what a great question that was. I mean, I know Duke started that season 2.
Yeah.
That was a great question,
Yeah.
and let it just be a reminder. I mean, these are my closest friends. You know, I didn't know he was feeling like that. I didn't know he was feeling like that. So, you know, check-ins are always good with your friends, your family, people that you care about most, that you love. Just ask, because 9 times out of 10, we're not gonna express how we're feeling, you know, openly. You know, you got to really dig deep. So, thanks for asking that question, bro. No. Go ahead, dive on in.
Since now I want to dive into it as far as like I was saying, emotionally, the woman that I'm dating currently, you know, she's a black woman, and you know, our topic kind of runs along that right now. Our topic for the day is being more. Should black men be more intentional with dating black women? More importantly, should successful black men be more intentional with dating black women? And I personally, me myself, like I will say, I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think it's important, especially as we've seen everything happen over the last couple of years, especially with BLM, Black Lives Matter, and a lot of those things. When we just think about the trajectory of black families, like the way to really strengthen black families is to have black families, right? So you two, I believe you two have 2 strong black women. Do you feel like that was ever intentional, or do you feel like that's just the women that you guys fell in love with?
Both for me. It was definitely intentional, and definitely the woman I fell in love with. But, you know, I could speak from experience. I've dated outside of my race. You know, I had a serious relationship with a woman who was Filipino. You know, and we dated on, and we had an ongoing relationship for 5 years. You know, and even in that time, I thought, I honestly, in that moment, in that space I was in,
she was gonna be the one.
I thought she was gonna be the one.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna be the one. But there were certain moments within that relationship where I would feel uncomfortable. And I'm just being honest. You know. Like I will come around maybe my cousins, you know, and everyone's dating someone black, you know, and she completely understands, you know, she's a minority, you know, she's Filipino, you know, we know how America has treated Asians, you know, so like.
They've been discriminated against as well.
Absolutely. Oh, sorry. I didn't know I needed to make that clear.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, I knew she understood me and could kind of like really get a sense of who I was, but I feel like there was just, and it was crazy because I couldn't explain it at the time and I couldn't articulate it, you know, but I always felt like there was a small disconnect, you know, and then when I look back now, hindsight is obviously 2020. There was a lot of other different things that were going on and for reasons why we split. But for me, you get back to it, like, I definitely think successful black men should be more intentional about dating your race. You should at least give it a try. You know, I mean, I think the biggest thing that America, if we're being honest, fears is like powerful black people, right? Powerful black people are powerful because they join together, right? I think in a sense in any race, right? When you break up or when you do interracials, right, you lose a sense of power, right? In any race, right? If white people date a black person,
Yeah.
they lose a sense of power,
Right.
right? If an Asian person dates a black person, they're gonna lose a sense of power, right? The family just, in that family's eyes, I don't think it's seen as strong, right? Whether
Family.
it's right or not, that's not for me to say. That's not for me to say. But I do think that successful black men should be more intentional about at least trying to date a black woman. We're not gonna speak any names. I mean, but we all know people that we know who shun black women, and they're black men. It's like, yo, you came from a black mother.
Yeah.
How could you sit up here and say that you don't like black women? You know, it's almost like, if you're saying that, then what is anybody else gonna say about our kind? You know, and so from that perspective, I would say that men do need to be
Yeah,
more
man.
intentional.
Y'all know that I feel strongly about this, man, and I feel like just my whole thing has always been about black women, just because. Yeah, black women are fun. Black women are life of the party. All those things, right? But just more importantly, the family dynamic, and I think that if you're someone like me who believes in family structure and family dynamic and having a powerful lineage, right, then you're gonna gravitate towards people like you, right? That's what it comes down to for me. I think that also I want to make a note, man, that we said, should successful black men be more intentional about dating black women? Should all black men be intentional about dating black women? Of course, right? But that's not the conversation we have, right? When black women highlight the fact that black men don't date black women,
It's successful
they're not
guys.
talking about the average black man. They're talking about the men they see on TV,
Yeah.
the famous people, the popular people, the men with the power. That's what we're talking about, right?
Because they're
of-
influential.
Right, because if we really look at the data and the statistics, right, most black men date black women.
Yeah.
Right.
Like so like this is not it's not, if we were looking at just like black people in totality, it's not one of the situations like black men in general. It's like the house is burning down, so that needs attention, right? It's not that situation. Let's focus on like successful black people. Although I feel like even most successful black people, right? And I'm not talking about just like the entertainer. I'm talking about just successful black people. I still think that they date black women, but it doesn't matter. Let's talk about the people that represent that whole demographic. Let's get to them because those people influence everyone, right? And I think that those people should not be so quick to jump ship and not be so quick and not use the "I love who I love" rhetoric so easily, right? Because if we all play that game, I can't hook up who I fell in love with, right? Then there would be no black families, and there would be no,
You think all black men will date outside their race?
Nah, I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying that if we really leaned on that, then we'll have nothing to hold us accountable, right? So like, people say that, right? I can't help who I fall in love with, and although that's partly true, you can. You can. I can make up my mind from the beginning stages. Yo, this is who I'm making myself available to.
Right.
That right there is one thing that can change whatever you think is going to happen, right? Now, I think that we all come from different places, right? We're raised differently, come in different environments. Some people grow up around people that aren't black, right? I have one of my best friends, Brandon, right? He grew up in a white household, right? So even he turned out with a black woman, but in situations like that, like his whole family, a white family raised him.
He was adopted?
It's a long story. He wasn't adopted, right? His mom is still very much around. He wasn't adopted, but it was just more conducive to like live with a white family.
Yeah.
I get it. For his
schooling,
growth. Yeah.
for schooling,
For his career.
Yep,
And
even just where he lived, as far as like the location to the school.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, my thing is, bro, I really just dislike when, and I have friends. We all have friends that are black and don't date black women, right? And it's all good. But I'm saying though, like,
And when you say don't date black women, you mean they're outwardly saying?
no. I'm saying that. Okay, that part is another extreme, right? Because I'm just not with a black woman,
Right. There's a difference.
and I don't date black women,
yeah.
We know a guy.
right?
Don't.
Now, if you say you don't date black women and you black,
How?
problematic,
How?
right? And also, like, I'm not even going to say, I don't even want to get into like, oh, you hate your mom, you hate your race. It ain't even, it's like, yo, everything that you can associate with a black woman that you're running from, right? That you're trying to equate to something else. What it really is, like, you're afraid, bro.
What?
Being held accountable, right?
You know you
Publicly,
gonna- you gonna get-
vocally,
Privately.
privately.
Private. That I feel like that's the
Privately.
biggest. That's the biggest
Yeah.
one.
Yo, but
Privately.
what I'm saying is, like, are all black women outspoken and like super brash? No.
No.
But that's a stereotype. And you scared of that.
That's like saying all black men rob, steal,
Right.
kill.
Right. That's, of course not. Right. But that's a stereotype and you scared of that.
Yeah.
Right. So before, like, let's understand what it is. Let's understand what it is, bro. Right. I have a problem with it though, because people try to paint it in situations that it's not. Don't tell me, oh, I just don't date black women, or I just haven't found a black woman I like. Don't tell me that. Or black women aren't attracted to me. Don't tell me that. Right? Because
You're not really looking.
Because now you're lying.
Yeah.
And now you're looking. And now you're
Yeah.
just trying to avoid the situation.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it sucks, man. It sucks because it really sucks for us, people like us too, because we've been around a lot of teammates that have been in these locker rooms and we had discussions. I've literally heard people say things like, "Man, I would never date a black woman."
Blacker than me, blacker than the bottom of my shoe.
You know? And it's like
Shit crazy.
it's like, bro, where'd you get that from? You know? And this is crazy. It's not an attraction thing. It's not a
It can't be.
It's not a
It
physical
can't be.
attraction thing.
It can't be.
It's not a physical attraction thing. To me, what it is like, oh, you're not the man you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear nothing about, man, black women always talking down. I don't hear. I've never had a problem with that personally.
Right.
But it's not because of my status, right? It ain't because of where I've been. It's because the respect. But the respect I give and the level of respect I command.
Mm-hmm.
Get that first, and you ain't gonna have a problem with no.
I think innately for anybody, right? Anybody, I think innately being with someone who resonates with you on a deeper level than we have to communicate is important.
Mm-hmm.
I think whether you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, all of that, right? And I got a story for y'all, right? I say that because I have a story for you guys, because I remember the moment when I was like, okay, I'm going to be with a black woman. And when I had that moment, I actually was not with a black woman at the time. Very similar to Omar. I was with a Filipino woman as well. And we had an incredible relationship. Like, don't get me wrong, we had an incredible relationship.
And I don't know if I said that about mine, so I'm sorry to cut you off. I just want to say that it wasn't shit. It was a great relationship.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was great. Had an incredible relationship. But it was a moment that happened that made me realize it's a certain level we'll never be able to connect on.
Exactly.
We'll never be able to connect here. And if I'm cool with that, then the relationship will thrive.
Absolutely.
But I wasn't cool with that.
Yep.
The year was, I forget the year, but I remember it was in July. And if you guys remember, in Minnesota, Philando Castile was just killed.
Yep.
Right? He was in the car. If you guys don't really know the story, he was in the car with his girlfriend
And his daughter.
and his girlfriend's daughter, right? But
Oh,
he served his father to her.
Okay.
Right? And he got pulled over by the police, and he told the police, like,
had a
hey, yo,
pistol.
I have my gun on me, but that's not what I'm reaching for. I just want to let you know that I'm grabbing my wallet.
Yep.
So he went to reach for his wallet, and he gets shot multiple times.
Twice. I feel like twice in the chest.
he got shot more than twice, for sure.
Yeah.
I remember he got shot more than twice because I remember the way that it made me feel. And I felt so hurt by the entire situation because I would have handled the situation very similar to how he would handle it.
Yeah.
Hey, I have my gun on me. I'm not reaching for my gun. I'm grabbing my wallet. I'm just going to give my ID to you. Cool. As soon as he reaches for his wallet, as he just told the officer he was reaching for, he gets shot multiple times. I think he actually got shot 8 times. As he got shot, the officer made sure that his girlfriend didn't do anything, and you could watch him taking his last breaths on camera. And I remember how affected I was by it. And I remember my girlfriend at the time, she was Filipino, as I mentioned before. And she was more so hurt by like, oh man, you know, that's unfortunate. That's wrong. You know, and I hate that my man is hurt. It wasn't like a, damn.
They killed one of us.
They killed one of us.
Yep.
That could happen to me.
Yep.
And when I felt that bit of a disconnect, I remember I told myself, I said, okay, my wife is going to be black. I told myself that in that moment. And this is actually the first time I've ever said this, like, publicly. I told myself in that moment, I said, my wife is going to be black because of moments like this. We won't ever be able to really connect on what's going on. And it made me start even just thinking about, outside of just being black, it made me think about other races. You know, it's other things that happen within other races that, like, no matter if you're Mexican, white, black, Asian, that people will never be able to connect with you because they don't know what your culture's struggle is.
It's impossible for them to understand.
Right.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Right.
You grew up hearing different things, being taught different things, and it's not your fault. It's just different. It's just different. So how could you understand? How could I expect you to understand?
I was hurt, bro. I was hurt. Not only was I hurt by the situation, I was hurt by the concept of just me thinking about my partner not really fully comprehending what I was dealing with in that moment. You know, not really comprehending how I feel, not really comprehending how I'm maneuvering in the streets now that I see what has happened with somebody who looked exactly like me.
Yeah.
And that moment, I was like, all right, if this relationship don't work, this man is going to be with a black woman.
Woo! I got to cut you off right there, bro. Yo, good shit. But, yo, what's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to the Nice and Neat Halftime Show. I'm your host, Omar. And y'all know what we like to do here. We like to play fucking games. Duke, the game of the day. Dim the rules. What we got?
All right, so this is a game, man, but it's along the same lines of what we've been talking about, right? We're talking about, should successful black men be more intentional about dating black women, right? But it's fair to say that you are considered black if you're interracial, right? So if you're a mixed man, you are still black. In that case, do we still hold mixed men that come from white women or white dad, right, from interracial households to that same standard of dating a black woman?
No.
It's a good question.
But I don't think we.
This is a really good dim the rules.
It's a good. Yeah, really. I don't think we do.
Should we, should they be held to the same standards?
How could they?
How could they?
They don't come from two black parents.
How could they?
How could they? It's completely unfair for us or society to hold them to the same standards.
Right.
They come from a 50-50 household.
Right.
It's completely up to them
Yep.
to take it whichever way that they want or desire.
Yep.
You know, and they're not wrong for doing either or. Right. You know, I think the second that you become an interracial baby, you know, all of those things, the rules change.
The rules change.
The rules change.
Yeah.
Because and we talk about this all the time.
Right.
Everything is circumstantial in life, right? The rules have to adjust for those people. You know, that's my personal stance on it.
I agree, bro. I don't think the rules are the same across the board in that situation.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't say that a mixed man wasn't being intentional with dating a black woman because he didn't. I just think it's different. I think it's different. I think you get a little, it gets a little,
Yeah, Yeah.
Does
I
it
mean,
depend?
I think it's
It's a little fluid.
I feel like it's very to me it's very similar to Brandon's situation.
Right.
You know, the guy that we alluded to, the guy that we were referring to earlier.
Yeah,
You know about
yeah.
you know he grew up with in a white family. Like if he ended up with a white woman, I
Yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily hold him to the same standard.
Yeah, that's because we know his story though personally, right?
that's true.
But I'm just
I'm
saying,
talking about outside
even
looking- I feel
society,
you.
right? So
I feel you.
society, I could see anyone could see. Okay, this person's mixed, right? No one needs to know his story to know this person's mixed, so he automatically gets a public pass,
Yeah.
right? But I'm saying though, does it also depend on like how his character and mannerisms are, right? Like if he's like a fully immersed in black culture, does it still matter or no?
I mean, does it still matter that he dates outside?
Right. So I mean,
That's like
I'm saying even if he
that's
got the Dewey on,
like what you're saying, like basically what I get from this is you're asking, can you be pro-black and not date a black woman? Because I think we've had this
that's a
conversation
good-
multiple
well,
times.
we could actually save that for actually the episode.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, because I got something for y'all coming in the episode.
Yo,
Oh, okay. My bad.
but,
My
but
bad.
what I'm saying is a mixed guy, right, who is cultured out, right? He's fully immersed in the culture. You know, he's more black than white, right? Got a lot of black friends. Does he still get the pass? Or like the mixed card just trumps all?
I feel like the mixed card trumps all.
The mixed card trumps all.
I feel like that.
What y'all think? What y'all think? Let us in the comment. Let us know in the comments. All right. Do mixed guys get the pass for not dating black women? Just throw it out there. You know what I'm saying? It's safe space.
This may be the first episode where we don't have an answer to them rules.
Yo.
We're really relying on the listeners and the
Ain't no
viewers.
rules about this one.
Nah,
Ain't no rules
we're
about
curious.
this one.
We're curious, So let's
No.
make this a very interactive session, an opportunity between us and our fans and our followers and subscribers and listeners. Get involved. We want to know what the deal is. And on that note, we're going to get to the second half.
Yes, sir.
The only way we know how. So some positive energy, some positive vibrations, and a smile, of course, man. Second half, let's go.
Them the rules got me really thinking.
He said,
Right? I'm not just caressing my fine beard. I really want to know.
he got plugs.
For the listeners, I have a beard.
He
right?
got plugs.
It leaves me with the question. Right. And before I get into the question, when you are, right, your woman is Omar, Candace is Cuban and Haitian, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Duke,
Jamaican.
right? So like you date a Jamaican woman, right? You date a Cuban and Haitian woman, right? Let's say there was a black man that dated, let's call her Hispanic, right? If this black man is dating this Hispanic woman, this is his woman, right? This is his world. There's nothing wrong with that. This is his woman. This is his world. Should he still be forced to publicly praise black women when that is not who his woman is? That is not who he's currently dating.
What do you mean by praise? Because I feel like the word that you wanted to use was uplift, not praise. I feel like that. So
He
that's
shouldn't be forced. He shouldn't be forced.
Because I feel like praise is forcing.
He shouldn't be forced.
Nah.
He shouldn't be forced. Should he be expected?
Should he be expected to?
Right.
Right.
Should he be expected to uplift black women?
He's black. He should be expected to always uplift his own, regardless of what woman he dates. He should be proud though of the woman he dates, but he's got to uplift his own. How do you not uplift your own? Because at the end of the day, like if we have to choose sides, what sides? If the world is gonna be over, right? Shit is burning. It's coming down. It's like, yo, we're drawing a line right here. What side are you on? Hispanic or black? What side are you gonna be on?
You're asking him.
He gonna be on the black side. There's no way he's gonna walk over there with all them essays. There's no way. Shout out to my essays. I fuck with my Browns. Right? There's no way he's walking across the line. Right? He's gonna be on the black side.
So you pretty much saying it's the same rules as when you go to jail. You got to decide.
You
got
gotta
to make
decide,
a decision,
bro. You can't just be. You can't walk up into prison and say, "Yo, I date Hispanic women, so now I'm rolling with the essays."
You're gonna uplift yours,
You have to uplift yours.
and that's the same with any race.
Because at the end of the day, that race is not gonna accept you like their own.
It's a hard position to be in though.
It's
right?
tough
Because it's like, yo,
It's
if you praising us and uplifting us, then why you with a Hispanic girl? It's a tough. It's a contradictory position to be in.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in.
Very.
You know.
I agree.
It's a very. It's so it's hard, right? So like when you say like should he be expected to uplift black women, right? The black person to me would say, yeah, of course, right? But the logical person to me would say, well, I don't know what his situation is. What if he's been tarnished? I mean, what if he's been shit on by black women?
Yeah.
Right? What if he's been turned down by black women all his life?
Does that mean does that mean he has to down black women?
But not downing, omitting or whatever, not downing black women, is like, as long as you don't down black women, you could almost get away with
anything.
Not uplifting them. Because if you're not going to help the fire, at least don't throw fucking fuel on that bitch.
Let's use the same example, right? This is a black man, right? He has an Hispanic girlfriend, and somebody attacks him and say, "You don't even date black women," and he says, "I don't," because his current girlfriend is Hispanic. Is that a problem?
Well,
because he don't.
That's
Maybe he does. He's just not currently.
Yeah, so like when people say like you don't date, that's like an ongoing thing.
Well, let's
right.
say
I didn't before and I don't
like
now.
What's he plan on marrying her?
But if I say Jalon, I heard you don't date black women, right? Not yo. I don't care. I don't care who you dating right now. If I say Jalon, I heard you don't date black women, right? That means like yo, you don't date black women at all. Or in the last couple of years, you don't date black women.
No black women.
That's what that means. Not saying, yo, like, hey, Jalon, your girlfriend is Hispanic and your last girl a month ago was black. I would never say that because you just right now dating someone else.
So to the men that are in interracial relationships, to the successful black men, because that's who we're speaking to, that are in interracial relationships, how do they still uplift black women within that process by still and then still being respectful to their relationships that they're currently in?
How do they uplift black women although they're not with black women?
Yes.
You just treat black women.
Stay out the way.
Stay out the way, but you gotta treat black women.
Stay out the way, nigga.
You gotta treat black women with respect, fam. I feel like if you that guy, you gotta go a little bit over the line. Like it's a black woman walking, I gotta go open the door. You know, I
yeah, but like, don't do that shit out of guilt though. You know what I mean?
And
don't do that shit out of guilt. Like, do that shit because like that's what you feel, and then you feel is right. Yeah. But then that shit get tricky because if you feel is right, then again,
that's where you should be.
That's where you should be, bro.
That's where you should be.
Hey, look. Hey, really though, honestly, truly, bro, it's no rules to this thing, right? It's just that when we talk about if you're someone, right, and you call yourself saying, yo, I'm for black people, right? I'm for the advancement of black people. I want to see us acquire wealth together. I want to see us acquire power together, right? I think the most, the quickest way, the most, straight pathway to get there is with other black people. Like you said earlier, man, what happens is we lose power because now we're separated, right? And what we talked about a couple of episodes is no one knows you like your partner, right? So if you're with your partner all the time, right, you guys have the most opportunities to do something powerful and dynamic. And I feel like the reason I feel like more successful black men should date black women or be with black women. You could like dabble in other women and just explore, but I think you should be intentional about dating black women because think family dynamic, think longevity, think I want my lineage to live on, right? So whatever is gonna, and this is why other cultures have strong cultural values and lineages, because they're very strict about who they date, who they marry, right? And sometimes it can get a little extreme, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at the unity, right, and the resources that are allotted to each other, it's because, man, motherfuckers, we stick together.
Yeah.
Right? It's we stick together, right? And that's not saying like regardless, bro. There's plenty, and we've talked about this. We're the only race that are as fluid as we are, that we jump ship as quick as we do, right? That we separate as quick, right? And people will say, "Oh man, well, it's been taught, it's been ingrained in us for years." At some point, we gotta know better. You know what I mean? At some point, you gotta know better. You know, but I truly think, and again, man, we are talking about successful black men because of the reasons we pointed out before, but this really goes for all men.
Yo,
you know,
just
all black men. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just playing devil's advocate, just for the sake of conversation. All right. How do we feel about black women? Like, should knowing what we're talking about in the current conversation,
Yeah.
like, should black women be more encouraged to date outside their race as well?
I'm glad you said that.
Should
More
they
encouraged?
Should they? I don't know. Should
You
they
know what?
experience? I guess what I'm asking is, should black women date outside their race too? Because I know it's a lot on black men. We never really posed this question to black women.
You know
right?
what? I would say that I think they should explore.
Explore.
I think they should explore just so they could kind of
No.
see where they don't want to be.
I mean,
You know what?
we don't know that. We don't know that.
Hey, you know what? Oh, I'm glad you asked that question. And this is something I've always thought about. I've thought about it for years. And I'm going to actually say that I think more weight is on black women to date black men. I think, and the reason why I say that is, I think black women are the gatekeepers to the entire culture. I'm going to tell you why. I think there are, when it comes to a physical level and when it comes to a financial level. Physically, you're having the children. You're doing that. So when you have a child outside of your race, you're having a child outside of your race, right? And then this is another thing as well. I think why it's very important for black men to date black women or marry black women or pursue black women, because at the end of the day, the woman is what makes the dollar maneuver within the culture. The woman is the one that spends the money in the family. The woman is the one that allocates where the dollars go within the family. The woman is the one that when she gets her services done, she gets them done by the same type of person that she is. So if you're with a white woman, your money is going to go to the white culture. Mm-hmm. If you're with a Hispanic woman, your money is going to go to the Hispanic culture.
Wow.
If you're with a black woman, your money is going to go to the black culture.
Why? Love how you did that.
She's getting her nails done. You know, she's maneuvering, she's shopping at places where that is where the money is going to be. So the economy and the success within cultures live within where the dollar is spent. Mm-hmm. So wherever that dollar is being spent, that's what you're supporting. So you can say how black you are all you want, or you can say how whatever culture you are, but we're talking about black men within pursuing black women, right? But if you're a successful black man and you're dating a woman that is not black, your dollars are going to whatever culture she is.
Yeah.
That's where she's spending her money at. That's where you're spending your money.
That's where you're spending. Most of all, that's where you're spending your money.
And if you're spending your money somewhere else, then you're not recycling
within the community.
Within your community, within your culture.
Yeah.
Or better words, within your culture.
Within the culture.
You're not. Yeah. And it's not happening. And this whole thing is about economics. So you can be as black as you want to. But if you're not economically black, what are you really doing for the culture?
So I guess let me get to the question that I asked during halftime. Well, I was trying to ask, can you be pro-black and not have a black girlfriend, or not be in a black relationship?
I think you can.
So you could be pro-black and date a white woman.
I don't.
Can you be pro-black and dating a white woman?
I don't.
Oof.
I don't. I think that's your
You
beard.
believe that you can, and you believe that you can't.
Can you be pro-black
Let's hear
and date
why.
a white woman?
How can you have to think about, how can you be pro-black? The most important thing about life is creating it. How can you be pro-black if you're diluting your blood?
Crickets.
That just plain and simple, just based off of that. How can you be pro anything if you're willing to dilute it?
Yeah, I think it's just surface level, like pro-black. Because once you start peeling the layers back and going deep, then you probably don't have an answer for it.
You don't.
Yeah, but because if I'm dating someone outside of my race and I'm saying, yo, like the most surface level idea of pro-black is just, I want to see black people do well.
You know what? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Right.
If I'm a white nationalist and I'm walking around,
What is a nationalist?
a white nationalist means that I believe everything within this country is white.
Okay.
Like, but it doesn't mean racist. It doesn't mean any of that. I support us.
Yep.
Right? Same thing as being pro-black.
Yep.
A white nationalist,
Yep.
as a white person, it's the same thing as being pro-black. Can you imagine a white nationalist walking around with a black wife and saying, I'm a white nationalist?
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no way.
There's no
There's
way.
no way.
So who are we to say that I'm pro-black and walk around with somebody that's
so we
not
gotta
black?
define though what pro-black is though, right? And I think that once we define that, there will never be any confusion of, okay, you're not pro-black, bro. Because if it has anything to do with, yo, I want to see black people be successful. I want black people to be free, financially free, free from slavery, XYZ, then it's like, yeah, you're not pro-black. Because in the long game, how we get to financial freedom, to economic freedom, is through family structure, through family wealth, right? And having a black woman with black kids and teaching their black kids and grandkids and passing things off from generation to generation. That's how we get free eventually, right? That's how we get free eventually. So if your idea of pro-black is just say, yo, I just want to see black people get more opportunities, then all right, you pro-black. But if that's how easy it is, if that's pro-black to you though, right? Because some people say, yeah,
I guess you got to define what
I just
pro-black
wanna
is.
That's a cop-out. I'm going to keep it above.
I know it is.
Like, that's a cop-out.
I know it is.
That's a cop-out when it comes
But
to anything.
but that's what it is though, right? Because you ask people, what is pro-black to you? And your definition may be very deep and have a lot of meaning and have a substance, and you have to really peel layers back to get to it. And my definition, right, could be, yeah, I just want to see black people be happy. All right, huh? I'm gonna give you $20 million. Be happy. Pro-black.
Yeah, nah. That's
right.
You could be pro-human race. I'm just pro-human race. That's a cop-out. Once again, I said white nationalist, pro-black. How can you be pro and you're the actual con? We're talking about producing life. And you produce life and you purposely, because it's a decision, right?
Purposely.
Right,
you
right,
purposely
right.
dilute it.
Right.
How are you pro?
Right.
Right? When you look at the
any other race will feel the same way.
Right.
every race feels the same way.
Right.
So you ask Asians, they gonna say the same shit. Ask whites, they gonna say the same shit.
I don't know who Confucius' wife, but I guarantee you it wasn't a black lady.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
I don't know who George Washington's wife is, but I guarantee you it wasn't a Mexican lady.
Guaranteed.
So what I'm getting though is, yo, back to should successful black men be more intentional about dating black women, right? It's just all about the longevity of our culture. You know what I'm saying? And if you're pro-black and you want to see black people do well, and you want to see us break chains and have financial freedom, then anything outside of that doesn't make sense, or is not consistent with what you want. Yeah, so if you're a black man and you are someone that's concerned about the wealth of black families, the longevity of black families, the success of black families, the black dollar, right? Then when you say you're pro-black, that's what we think about, right? But if you just, it's like, yo, hey, I got my money and I'm trying to take care of my kids and that's all I care about, right? And you say you pro-black, then it don't add up.
Yeah.
Right? It don't make sense to me. You feel me? But I know, Jelon, you were saying something earlier. What was it you talking about again?
The importance of just economics within being black.
Right.
I think economics, not even just being black. I know we're talking about successful black men dating black women.
Yeah.
But I think within any culture, the economics of your culture is extremely important.
Facts.
You know, wherever you guys spend your dollars at, what you guys are trying to create, where your money is going, I think that for me, that's why I always tell people I'm economically black.
Right.
I'm not the guy who hops into protests and just walk in the middle with signs. That's not what I do.
Right.
I create opportunities for more black people to be owners so they can have more control over their life. We live in a capitalistic society.
Right.
So within a capitalistic society, the things that lead to success is capital.
Yep.
So
For sure.
capital is economics.
Yeah.
So that's what I focus on.
Yeah.
That's what I focus on.
Man, you know what, man? I think that this topic right here, I think it needs another episode, man. I think we're out of time, right? But there's so many things that we need to unpack.
I believe that we gotta peel back some layers.
You know what I mean? And let us know what you guys thought. If you feel like more black men, more successful black men should be dating or more intentional about dating black women, please comment. Let us know what your opinions are.
Or if you don't.
It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
And shit to you.
Right? And maybe we need
okay.
maybe we need a black woman up here to kind of give her perspective. We don't know. Right? But that may be in the works. We don't know yet. But
Shit, you know what? If you guys want to see somebody, drop it in the comments below.
drop it in the comments. Hey, tag somebody actually.
Tag somebody you want to see as a
Tag
guest.
somebody you want to see as
Tag
a guest
somebody.
on this episode, specifically this topic.
Yeah. So yeah, we're out of time, man.
Dude checking his watch. It's over.
Yeah, we're out of
Gotta go.
time. Just making sure. I mean, it is our studio though, so we're not on.
I mean,
time.
y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta go.
Y'all gotta go.
We gonna do our
We
thing.
here.
We gonna do our thing.
But no, man, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Make sure you guys subscribe to our channel. All right, subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our Apple Podcast and our Spotify channel. Make sure you follow Jelon, follow O, follow me on Instagram. Tap in with us, man. Interact with us. We love hearing feedback from you guys. We see all the DMs, man. Keep showing us love, man. I'm Duke.
I'm Omar.
I'm Jelon, and this is Nice and Neat, and that's that on that.
I'll be the one to take the risk to go and get them bands. I'll be the one to never sit and go and make a plan. Knowing my mother getting old now, don't got no time. Gotta keep a couple for the road, the rest get left behind. Yeah. To the hundreds, pledge allegiance, I stand.